Welcome back to The Local Show, a service of Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts and Geddes Federal Savings and Loan. The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in Central New York. The Local Show, locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now, here are your hosts, Tom and Steve.
Thank you for joining us on The Local Show, carving out a little time on your weekend to spend with Steve and I, because we know you have nothing better to do.
Well, it's the Columbus Day weekend. Can I say that, Tom?
No, you can't.
I didn't say that. It's not Columbus Day weekend.
That horrible butcher.
Yes, you can't say that. But
whatever.
But Charlie is selling mattresses to celebrate.
Yes, you've mentioned that before.
Yes. So this weekend and Monday, mattress makers on Bridge Street across from behind Henry Wilson Jewelers. And across from the broken Chick-fil-A in Cicero.
He custom makes those things, and I know that he had told me that you wanted extra room in yours because that's where you stuff your money.
It is, right. Yeah. That's it. That's it.
I think that's kind of cool. Yeah. Well, it's great to bring Attorney John Murphy back on the show. He hasn't been on in a little while, owner of Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts. How are you, my friend?
Good. I had to use Google to find my way here.
I know it's been that
well, it's
that
just
long.
12 pounds ago, wasn't it, John?
Golly. You got to check out the YouTube channel because he is fit as a fiddle.
He is on a fitness thing. Yeah. He's making you and I look bad, Tom.
I know.
We need help.
It's like it's Thin Lizzy as opposed to Oliver and Hardy here.
Okay. Who's who?
I don't know. I'm definitely the big guy. I can't remember who the fatter guy was.
So, what's new, wild, and exciting in the estate planning law world?
There's never a week maybe that goes by that we don't get somebody calling us with a crazy fact pattern that could have been easily remedied with some advanced planning.
Right.
People often ask, well, I don't need a will. I'm X years old. And, you never need a will until you do, right?
Yeah,
you never need the brakes on your car until you do.
Right.
Right? Or an airbag until you do, and then it's too late. So, man and woman, they were together, partners, not married. They had a couple kids, and house was in his name, mortgages in both names, no will, and he died suddenly, very early, like in his early 30s.
Oh, wow.
Leaving as his only heirs his two minor children. Not his girlfriend.
Right.
Not married. Could have taken care of that with a will. Said I leave my house to my girlfriend.
Right.
But it didn't. So now we have to go through the process of probating the will, or probating an estate administration, okay, where the girlfriend does not have any rights to run the estate because she's not related to him.
Okay.
Right.
So his mother's going to do that. Fortunately, there's a good relationship among everybody. And then we need to get someone appointed as the guardian over the house because the two minor children are inheriting the house.
Okay.
Oh, they are?
Because they are his heirs.
Right.
They're his only heirs, right? He could have said, no, I leave it in a will. I leave it to my girlfriend, right? Who was the mother of his children. That would have been a natural thing, right? But he was young, healthy, didn't think he needed to do a will. So it is never too early to do.
Yeah. Is it ever too late?
Yeah, this guy would have been too late.
A little late now.
Right?
Or do some people just do it wrong?
Yes. And they do. And, there's a lot of things. Anything that you do, as you concentrate more in that area, you become more aware of things that you absolutely should be doing that you didn't even consider when you only did a little bit, right? There's the surface, and then, we're like the ducks, right, or the iceberg. And 90% of what we do is under the surface. Client might say, well, a will is a will is a will. Yeah, it's not, okay? A trust is a trust is a trust. I can't tell you how many different types of trusts there are. There's probably 30 or 40 different types, depending on what
So you can tell us.
Yeah.
What's the wrong kind of trust?
There's never really a wrong kind. It depends on what your goals are.
Yeah.
However, people get confused. They say, I have a trust, so my assets are protected from long-term care. Maybe not, right? Because if you have a trust that is revocable, then your assets are not protected. We have to undo one some folks did in 2014 that it was an irrevocable trust, So that's a good start. They want to protect their home and savings from long-term care. However, the trust says that with the consent of an independent trustee, they can be given both income and principal from the trust, as much or little as the trustee says.
Is that legal?
Well, it's legal. It's just not going to protect you from Medicaid.
Oh, okay.
Right? So, and our clients, smartly so, shortly after they got the trust, wrote a letter to this attorney, said, hey, we're worried that this doesn't protect from Medicaid. And the attorney wrote back and said, no, it does, because you're not giving the money, somebody else is. That's not the standard for Medicaid.
Right.
It might be the standard for, a normal creditor.
Sure.
But not for Medicaid. The Medicaid standard is if there is any scenario under which the rules of the trust you could be given principal, all of the trust is available to pay for nursing home.
Okay. So what if someone didn't plan properly, and they call 1-800, call a lawyer to fix this thing?
There's a lot of online people nowadays,
or
too.
whatever, and they say, hey, mom looks like mom's going in long-term care, and the firm says, well, you should have done it 5 years ago. What would you say to someone that might give that answer?
Well, we're doing that person's planning now.
Oh, tell me more. Okay.
So I just did some work for somebody. He said, I have to tell you the story. I said, okay. He said, when mom first went in a nursing home, I called, somebody in the area.
Yeah.
And I said, mom's in a nursing home, went through the whole thing. And they said, oh, you didn't plan 5 years ago. There's nothing we can do. That's almost never the case, right? There's almost always something that we can do. You just have to position things correctly.
Yeah.
Generally, even if you're a single person, we can save at least half.
Okay.
We have some folks in now who did no planning. Wife is going to need some help, and we're going to be able to save far more money than they ever thought was possible. Pretty much everything except maybe her Social Security.
Is there any short-sightedness when people say, oh, I don't, I don't know your fees, but let's say it costs me $5,000 to do all this stuff. I don't want to spend that much at a lawyer, but a nursing home's how much?
Nursing homes on average are about $15,000, $16,000 a month in central New York. The issue, Steve, is nobody you talk to, nobody I talk to, is planning on going into a nursing home, right? Not going to happen to them.
Well, it's not going to happen to me.
Yeah, it's going to happen to somebody else, right?
Well, we're going to lock you away.
Statistically, 70% of seniors will need nursing home care at some time in their life. So if you're out there listening, if you're married, look at your wife, look at a sibling. Two of you are going to need long-term care.
Kind of scary.
Very, very scary. And sometimes as I'm going in for rehab, I had a knee surgery or whatever. That's getting less and less now that, they're sending you home directly. But what happens is the intention is to come home, but you get pneumonia, especially older folks. They just say, I don't want to do this. It's too hard. I'm 80-something. Why am I working this hard? I'm not going to do it. And then you don't make the progress you need, and you wind up staying at home.
So folks can call with questions, talk to you, or talk to one of the case managers.
Well,
I know
talk to a case
they're
manager
fabulous.
first. Yeah.
And they'll answer questions like how much it costs, what do we do, what do you suggest, that kind of stuff.
Yep.
370-9977. That's an area code 315, Tom.
That's the big one, Steve.
370-9977. John Murphy from Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts. Put a .com if you want to look it up.
Yeah, give us a call. Talk to one of my case managers. They're going to help you tremendously.
Great. Steve, that's going to wrap up the local show. That means you can go home and get out of my hair. On behalf of the local show, Zoey Advertising, and Tom and Steve, God bless you and your families. Take a walk today and every day with a friend or family member. It keeps the weight down and that mind clear. Maybe I should take 3 walks, come to think of it.
Yes.
The local show is heard every Saturday morning from 11 to 1 and then again on Sunday morning from 7 to 9. Listen together with a friend. Until next week, get down to business and keep doing business locally. Tell your friends about the local show right here on 570 WSYR 106.9 FM, the iHeartRadio app, and on YouTube at Zoey Advertising 3809.